Hello everyone and welcome one and all to another edition of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. We're going to pick two random SoulsBorne bosses and then they will each get their own storage compartment to analyze, and whoever gets the most money out of it will be the winner. Much like an episode of Storage Wars. I gotta find different ways to get winners out of this contest because I don't know. I just have to. It's just the way it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting more and more difficult. Alright. Over in the red corner, we have Ibrietas, daughter of the Cosmos from Bloodborne. Ooh boy. I remember some stressful times against the great daughter of the Cosmos. I also remember some fun times too. Pretty sure there was one time when I was fighting her that, was it her or was it someone else? I can't remember. Might have been a different boss. Oh shit, I'm not even sure. I think it was her though. I think Christian and I tag teamed her, and like at the very end, I think Christian, like I was the main player, and it was coming right down to the wire, and Christian like ran in there and hit her and distracted her. He's like, get her, and I ran in and got her and killed her and got the win. So yeah, it was a cool moment. One that we still like to talk about occasionally. But yeah, Ibrietas is a challenge for sure. Definitely a challenge. So pretty sure making her Battle to the Death debut here. So very, very exciting. Alright, let us take this wheel for another spin. We are going to see who is going to face Ibrietas, daughter of the Cosmos, who is standing over in the red corner, and over in the blue corner we have the Twin Princes from Dark Souls 3. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a heavyweight championship match in the main event. Oh boy. Wow, that's one. Oh boy. We're going to need 15 rounds for that one. Unless it's a wrestling match, then we're just going to need a 60-minute time limit main event. Ooh. Oh boy, I'm pumped up for this one. That one's got me pumped up, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, let us go to the contractually obligated bios, and with that, let us take a look at Ibrietas, daughter of the Cosmos. Ibrietas, whose name I believe loosely translates to chicken noodle soup experiment gone horribly awry, is the object of the Healing Church's worship in Bloodborne. She guides the Healing Church in the ways of blood ministration and only communes with the highest members of the church. She was found by the Healing Church in the Old Labyrinth, and then the Healing Church later founded the choir to protect and study her. And she's the only one of the Great Ones who wants to coexist with humans, which probably lasted until you burst into her lair and tried to murder her. When you fight Ibrietas, in Phase 1, she will attack with her head, her arms, and her tentacles. Should be obviously as typical in Phase 1 of any boss ever. They're more docile, but in Phase 2 they were a little more aggressive, and she'll start spewing red fluid from her head, which is gross, and then she will also use projectiles and start executing random attacks after she loses her mind. So Ibrietas is a tough one. I definitely remember many tries in Bloodborne. But she's also a fun one and a cool but disgusting boss design. There's a lot of disgusting boss designs in Bloodborne. But yeah, I think it's nice to have Ibrietas with us, and I I think it'll be interesting to see what mischief she can get into in Battle to the Death. Lorien and Lothric, the twin princes, are the children of Osiros, king of Lothric, and Guinevere, queen of Lothric. Osiros, that lucky bastard. They were bred to be the saviors of Lothric. Lorien is a powerful knight who at one time challenged the Demon Prince in single combat and single-handedly defeated him. A battle that left his great sword eternally scorched with the Chaos Flame and his armor scorched black. Lothric, on the other hand, was designated to become a Lord of Cinder. The hopes were so high for him that a platinum sword was created for him, infused with magic. And being a Lord of Cinder means you have to sacrifice yourself to rekindle the first flame and keep life going, essentially, blah blah blah. That platinum sword I mentioned was created long before Lothric was ready to fulfill his destiny. And his shrine at Firelink Shrine was the same. It was made long before he was ready to even think about embarking on that quest. Unfortunately for Osiros and the kingdom, Lothric soon revealed himself to be a sickly child who never grew out of his baby clothes. And Aldea, the first of the Grand Archive Scholars, someone who was doubtful of linking the First Flame, became his mentor, and Lothric demonstrated a aptitude for sorcery. So that's probably where Lothric got his disdain for linking the First Flame. So when Osiros realized that Lothric was never going to be strong enough to link the First Flame, he resorted to one of the most repulsive acts that one could think of. He binded the souls of the two princes together, hoping that Lorien's strength would make Lothric stronger. And for the record, Lorien had no problem with this. He wanted to help his brother. Unfortunately, it did not work that way. It worked the opposite way, and Lorien got weaker and lost the use of his legs and the ability to speak. And fate often does not stop at one joke. It'll often make two. The curse made it so that the brothers could not die without both dying at the same time, essentially. Lorien could not die unless Lothric died too. So Lorien became crippled. Lothric stayed sick. I know I've said it before, but great job, Osiros and the royal family. That was just... You guys really know how to problem solve. Idiots. So the first flame begins to fade, and the time comes for Lothric to fulfill his duty and sacrifice himself to become a Lord of Cinder. Lothric basically says, "Fuck you." He refuses. He goes back into his castle and decides to watch the flame die from afar and usher in the Age of Dark. So it was Lothric's decision, essentially, that caused the world itself to resort to an emergency measure of awaking all the past Lords of Cinder to link the flame. Ones that had already sacrificed themselves and done so, like Yorm the Giant, Aldrich, Devourer of Gods, the Abyss Watchers, so on and so forth. And then they all wake up and all of them decide that that's not what they're doing, and they all go decide to do different things. It was just, oh, that's really funny when you think about it. So the world results to another emergency measure and wakes you up. So that's how you rise up out of the grave and you start your quest to basically murder everybody and link the First Flame. So that's basically how that comes about, and eventually you climb to the top of the Grand Archives and face the Twin Princes and so on and so forth. So yeah, I have talked before about fighting the Twin Princes. They were one of those ones that took almost a week, playing almost 8 hours a day to try and beat. They are no joke. They are certainly no joke, especially in that second phase. So, but you know what? Again, also with the Nameless King as well. Looking back on it, it's one of my favorite boss fights. So, Yeah, I have a special place in my heart for the Twin Princes, and it's always fun to see them pop up on Battle to the Death. I think when you first look at this fight, it's a pretty tough fight. Both bosses have their own kind of unique difficulty. I actually think that Lothric is the wild card here. I think that if it was just Ebrietas versus Lorien, I think Ebrietas murders Lorien with no problem, considering Lorien has no use of his legs and is, kind of semi-immobile. But I think Lothric changes the complexion of the whole thing with his ability to teleport and teleport his brother as well. Ebrietas has trouble turning, if I remember correctly, although I think that improves in the second phase. But I think that gives the teleportation gives the Twin Princes the advantage, so I think they take this fight. They're very strong, both of them are. And also Lothric is strong from long range, so yeah, I think Twin Princes win. I think poor Ebrietas falls to the Twin Princes, but that's just my opinion. Feel free to leave yours in the comments. And with that, yet another episode of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death comes to a close. Leave a like, subscribe, notifications, and all that nonsense. If you are interested in the Roar of a Dragon series, go to robertblanchardbooks.com. You can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free, so you can decide whether you'd like to purchase them or not. If you'd like to hear more about them, you can listen to the Rise of Dragons podcast, wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can visit my Linktree, my Instagram, my Twitter. They all have the same handle. It's Bobby's World 2110. And you can come back here next week for another edition of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. It'll be at 3 p.m. Wednesdays, Eastern Standard Time. And the Sekiro No Healing Gourd run is ongoing. We are fighting our way through Fountainhead Palace, which is just a barrel of laughs and just fun times all around. So go check that out if you like. Back here next week for SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. And until then, be well, stay safe, and as always, it's Bobby's World, and you're all just living in it. See you alive, y'all. Bye. What's going on, guys? Thank you for checking out the video today, but I got a question for you. Did you know I wrote a book? Did you know I wrote 3 books? Did you know that they're all part of the same series? The Roar of a Dragon, The Treachery of a Weasel, and The Cry of a Raven. ReadersFavorite.com says that its intensity rivals that of the Game of Thrones series. Now, I personally think that's crazy, but it's not for me to judge. It's for you to judge. Go to robertblanchardbooks.com and you can check out the books right now. But wait, that's not all. All 3 books got 5-star reviews in ReadersFavorite.com. These books won the silver medal in the Literary Titan Awards. The Cry of a Raven won silver at the Global eBook Awards. So what are you waiting for? Read about Aiden's dream to become a Knight of Delmar. Read about his death and resurrection. Oops, I gave that away, didn't I? And read about his journey back home from 3,000 years in the future to stop the evil that started in Delmar. Go to robertblanchardbooks.com. You can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. And then, if you're interested, you can buy the books there as well. And if you've already read the books or you just want to hear more about them, you can check out the Rise of Dragons podcast. You can listen to it wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And in every episode, I cover a character from the book, an event from the book, my journey into writing, and everything in between. Ripley, what do you got to say about all this?
Give me a treat or I will end you.
You know she's telling you to check out the books. Go to robertblanchardbooks.com to check out the books or listen to the Rise of Dragons podcast if you want to hear about them. That's all I got to say, and thank you for watching this video.